Todd Greenberg is on the line. Good morning, Todd.
Morning, guys. I just thought I'd just jump into this conversation. I'm almost pulling into the office, and I want to make sure that people understand that the referees are doing exactly what they've been asked to do, and the real challenge for the referees is to continue to do this for the entire year. We've been very strong over the off-season on making sure two things. Play the ball was cleaned up. They're doing exactly what I've asked, and to make sure the players stay back on side, and they're doing exactly what they're asked. So they're going to keep blowing penalties, and I'm going to keep giving them that direction, and that might upset a few people, but we are absolutely on the right track.
Todd, 100%. No doubt. Like, at the end of the day, this is what happens, Todd, and you know yourself, mate. What happens is the coach looks for the nooks and crannies in between, in the game to find out ways to advantage their team. Now, we had a number of years ago, right? Here's an example, guys, where people like Greg Inglis and Billy Slater were such a threat to return the ball. So what sides started to do? They started kicking the ball dead deliberately. So then we had to bring in a rule with the 7-tackle rule. Now, people blow up about that. Oh, it's unfair. But we brought it in because the coaches corrupt the rules.
And that's worked out to be a good one,
Todd,
too.
We've got it at the moment, mate, and you know yourself, there are clubs and there are players who have switched clubs and admitted to Paul Kent. The part of their tactics is to deliberately give away penalties when they're defending their line.
Yep, and so, Matty, you and I have spoken about this as well. What we have to do is try to stay in front of those trends, and, if people want to come out over this weekend and start ripping into the referees, I've got some advice to them. They better start ripping into me first, because all the referees are doing is following instruction. And again, I've asked the referees to make sure it doesn't just happen in rounds 1 and 2 and 3, that it happens all year, because ultimately it'll ensure that the fans have a much greater game to watch.
Todd, 5 minutes in the sin bin. 10's too big. But 5. For me, a tool for the referees when he knows this is going on, to be able to sort of something a little heavier than just a penalty, because I'm telling you, I think we're at the thin end of the wedge unless we do something, because this has got the potential to really hurt the game.
Yeah, and as you know, Matty, we have spoken about that around what we call our competition committee, and there are some people around that table that have significantly more experience than I do in this part. People like Darren Lockyer, Mal Meninga. We've got some, very smart minds, Wayne Pearce, that sit on that committee, and that committee will meet after the first quarter of the season, so in about a month or so, and the first thing on that agenda will be the discussion around whether or not the referees and the changes we've made are working, and if we need to have a stronger deterrent being an additional part of the sin bin, then we'll talk about it.
Todd, appreciate you calling in, mate.
That's all right, guys. Have a good day.